So you'll install the laser cannons, ODSTs, highly trained guards, and the Gauss cannon the size of Galactus fists, all for how much?
Firebrand.
Not now, Ari. Sorry, how much? 5,000 bits? Couldn't you make it 250? No, 250 bits. Yes, I'm being serious. I'm not trying to screw you over. I'm part of the national defense. Ari, jot this down.
Of course.
Anyways, Alex, I gotta go before my dialogue gets cut off.
Hello, Firebrand.
I'll call you back. I suppose you're here for the collab call too?
Yeah, that's right. I'm not missing out on this opportunity like I missed out on getting a Switch at launch. I was one of the first in line for this call, damn it. Also, I came down to install some extra security, like you asked. I found this one program labeled MCP. I figured I'd put that in charge of the weapon systems you're so vigorously haggling for.
First off, no you weren't. Second, language. Thirdly, I really shouldn't let you. Letting one of my own editors collab with me might come across as nepotism.
True, but I've appeared in a review or two of yours before, and people seem to like me. I mean, check the comments on Minty Christmas and they want more. I'm giving the people what they want.
Not to mention the fact that you collaborated with the makeup artist for Gauntlet of Fire.
You're supposed to be on my side.
Always, my dear. But I'm not here to lie to you.
Crap baskets. Fine, you can collab with me. You can even choose the episode. I'll have RML put you down for something in season 7.
Now, Firebrand!
Shall I make a reminder to fire him later?
Figuratively or literally, we do have the party howitzer.
Thanks a lot, Ari.
I also have a flutter bomb on standby.
Good, alright, Final Cut, you win. So, what do you want to review?
Interesting you should ask. You see, I recently made a trip to, well, where I actually went sounds rather boring, so let's say Egypt. And while I was there, I discovered the remains of a secret long hidden. An episode of My Little Pony, forever lost and forgotten by time, laying dormant in a sarcophagus, never meant to be opened. Perhaps it is for the better, for only an episode of G3 could ever be so bad to warrant such a cruel and needlessly convoluted confinement.
You want to review a G3 episode? I already did one! You should know, you edited it!
It is too late to argue, Firebrand. Your fate is sealed.
I have broken the binds of this crypt, and soon I will unleash the terror of this episode upon you. Prepare for your doom at the hooves of this unbearable abomination.
Wait, Pony Point of View? Oh, come on! I thought this was Princess Promenade or something.
Wow, that was anticlimactic for anyone who couldn't see the title. Alright, wasting no more time, this is Pony Point of View.
I spent 40 bits on this on eBay!
So this episode starts out with Twilight channeling her inner Pinkie Pie as she eagerly awaits the arrival of her friends from an off-screen fishing trip.
It's such a shame Rainbow Dash and Fluttershy had to miss it for their Cloudsdale Flight School reunion.
I've been kind of out of touch with the show since season 4. Is this a reference to another episode? Like the Maid of Manhattan reference in Brotherhood of Social?
No, it's a reference to the comic. Is MLP attempting to tie comic and show canon together for a world that feels more alive?
Well, they had to do some good world building sometime.
My only worry is that they'll be so excited they'll talk over each other and I'll miss some of the details. Just to be safe, I may need you to take notes.
Right.
Hey, be honest. I don't make you guys do that, right?
What? No. No. Come on.
We do not have an ill-defined caregiver-dependent relationship like they do. You are not my surrogate father, brother, or cousin Orchard Blossom. I literally work for you. Plus, I'm your girlfriend. It's okay.
Aight.
Man, I haven't seen anyone this angry since they announced Ralph breaks the internet. Hashtag Ralph for League of Legends. Hashtag we wrote this months ago, so this is really dated.
So Twilight apparently wants to set up a lunch date to get them to talk.
Heaven's sakes, is that a spot?
And it turns out the three sent pet telegrams to decline the offer.
Best way to get rejected ever. But I want to talk about Opal for a sec. Usually she's a really mean kitty, but here she's showing affection for Twilight and Spike. What, did she lace the castle with catnip or something? Also, is she putting on a southern accent for AJ's letter?
Sorry I can't make it, but I'm still a mite upset about everything that happened on the boat. Applejack.
Did Pinky write the letter on Gummy? Ugh, I can feel my poor stationery set writhing in agony.
Crabs! I got crabs!
So, interesting bit of meme history here. For the longest time, very far predating this episode, Rarity fighting a giant enemy crab was a thing. Artwork everywhere, fanfiction, pretty sure it was on the con book for BronyCon at one point.
The internet is weird.
Understatement of the freaking millennium.
So, Rarity throws away a perfectly good sweater just because of a few stains. Darling, unless that's cashmere, I think you can save that with a good wash. Oh god, what am I saying? This is Rarity. Of course it's cashmere. Then she starts recounting the tale, and it's here that we reveal the method of storytelling for this episode. This type of story is referred to as Rashomon.
Is that some sort of allergy Digimon?
Yeah, no. It's a story where several different perspectives of a story offer pieces of the truth based on moments or events that are shared between exaggerated stories. The concept gets its name from the 1950 Japanese film of the same name by Akira Kurosawa. A great example of this is Hoodwinked, specifically between Little Red Riding Hood and the wolf. What may be a scary encounter between a frightened little girl and a stalker in the former's eyes could also be an investigation and a crime bust in the eyes of the latter. But what we know for a fact is that they meet in the woods, a flash comes out of a squirrel's mouth, and the wolf lunges at the girl because that's where their stories overlap. Oh god, the villain of this episode isn't going to turn out to be a bunny, is it?
Knowing Angel Bunny, wouldn't put it past him. Anywho, Rarity recounts how they get into the boat and...
The sea air carries a portent for trouble this day. 'Tis a treacherous and perilous journey that lies ahead of us. We sail to adventure or our very doom.
What's going on?
Call me Ishmael! That's what's going on!
So the tale continues and... wow, just listening to Pirate Applejack is weird. Those are words that should not be coming out of that mouth.
Anyway, Rarity establishes that she brought a set of fancy dishes and hors d'oeuvres, Pinky brought a bunch of candy and sweets, and Applejack rudely throws it all overboard. Pinky tries to lighten the mood with some games, which leads to Applejack steering the boat towards treacherous rocks and the three of them fighting over the map. When she finishes the story, she pulls up a tub of Hoofendas and suggests that they go to Pinkie Pie if they don't believe her.
We thought there was a chance she might have embellished the story just a tad.
If they're worried Rarity embellished the story, Pinky is gonna f***ing destroy it.
So they get onto the boat and apparently Pinky says it was Rarity that threw the classy food overboard, not Applejack.
Wait. That doesn't sound like Rarity. Just wait until you hear how much more unlike her she sounds.
You see? She just admitted she's embellishing.
It's pinata time! Ooh, wanna give it a whack, Rarity?
Oh, you was serious?
Let me laugh even harder.
Oh, don't worry, dear. Luxury cruises never sing.
Yes, Celestia herself couldn't sing it.
I think it's really interesting how Twilight and Spike know that all of them are exaggerating, but they're all so angry at the moment that they don't throw accusations or badger them about it.
I like that Spike knows that the detail of how they got back is important, but nobody seems to answer him. They go to Applejack to get her story
And more fun than you can shake a stick at. Because I brought a stick.
Jeez, AJ, tell us how you really feel about Pinky.
Out of all the scary faces that Pinky's made, that's in my top 5.
Oh, darling, that food isn't fit for a pony of proper breeding, darling, and refinement, darling.
Am I having a stroke, or did Rarity turn into G3 Rainbow Dash?
Their eyes stare into my soul! Don't let the socks get me!
Seriously? Look what you did. Now he's triggered. Do you exist to make my life harder?
Maybe.
I'll go get his comfort object.
Do you want to say it or should I?
I'll go.
You can tell they live together. So all of their stories overlap at some points, but contradict at others. So to solve the puzzle, Twilight and Spike head back to the castle to review the facts.
See, I was hoping they'd spend a little more time on that, gathering the evidence from the overlap in the stories and letting the audience in on what's going on. But instead, we're going the mystery on the Friendship Express route, and we're not being told until the end. And I f***ing hate that. I hated it then, I hate it now. It's antithetical to the entire point of crime shows and mysteries in general, which is kind of what this is. Shows like Sherlock or CSI do this so much better. Scooby-Doo does this better. Blue's Clues does this better. They present all the facts and withhold nothing from the audience. That way, the audience has a chance to come to the conclusion themselves, possibly even before the show itself does. That's half the fun of a mystery. Of course, I am dealing with a kid show, so maybe I'm getting worked up over nothing. Then again, if an animated blue puppy for toddlers is better at explaining a mystery, it has no excuse.
Well, I disagree on one thing. In Mystery on the Friendship Express, you could very well put it together that Rainbow Dash, Fluttershy, and Rarity were the culprits if you paid unreasonably close attention. Like at the beginning, you could see Rainbow's silhouette and her trail. You could see Fluttershy's tail style during the shoveling of the coal. And yes, you could see Rarity's change of hairstyle and the painting acquiring a new eyelash. And the good part about that is those are details you would notice upon a second viewing. But here? When was this ever indicated?
How were you supposed to even factor in a sea monster, let alone one that likes cucumbers? How would it even develop a taste for cucumbers if it lives in the ocean?
Sea cucumbers?
Not the same thing. Anyways, this twist comes right the out of nowhere. And look at this, what is it called? The trihorned bunyip? Okay, ignoring that this is named after a foot infection, it looks so dumb. It looks like the Mario 64 cave beast mixed with a Disney dog.
Looks like Littlefoot with a bad case of acne.
Or looks like a mutated version of Gerald from Finding Dory. Oh yeah, we got pages of this, we could go on. So then things are explained and the three realize, ooh, we're jerks.
Why would you put ice cream in a cup you found in the middle of the sea? That is so unsanitary. You're probably gonna get ocean lupus.
And that was Pony Point of View. I think there was a good concept here. I mean, it had a good setup. Three very different friends look at the same situation differently because of their biases and don't communicate properly. But here's the issue. The mystery turns out to be a big nothing burger.
Putting that aside, even then the build-up for the mystery is wasted when the solution comes almost immediately after the evidence is placed before us. There's no moment where the characters, and by proxy the audience, get a chance to try and figure things out. Instead, the solution to the mystery is completely spoon-fed to us before we even get a chance to taste it. Can you tell I'm hungry?
That's your own fault for talking about Mystery on the Friendship Express and the cake. Well, that's it then. Review's over. You can go home. Something wrong?
Oh, I'm just upset I'm not getting my security deposit back. I was so excited about reviewing a G3 episode and torturing you with it that I was going to have it put away just as dramatically as I pulled it out.
Oh, sucks. Anyways, would you kindly...
I mean, I paid a guy to lock it up in a box and put it in a vault to be examined by top men.
Who?
Top men.
You take this job way too seriously.
He said the thing!
Ah, you're finished. I hope you don't mind, but I took the liberty of switching discs while the flying rat wasn't looking.
What? You... How?
Do not underestimate my magic. I may not be as skilled as Princess Twilight Sparkle, but I am your secretary. I do whatever I need to in order to serve your best interests. And besides, we can't afford any more therapy bills like the one following Minty Christmas. It was for the greater good.
The greater good.
Remind me to never get on your bad side.
I'll make a note of it.
Anyways, thanks a lot, honey. I do not want to see another G3 episode for as long as I live.
You're very welcome, sweetheart. Shall we continue? I called Alex back and haggled him down to 1,500 bits. We have the budget for 2,000, but I figured you'd want a deal.
Oh, am I glad you're here. Hey, Alex, so about the defense upgrades.
End of line.